Welcome back to my ASMR channel. It's good to have you all here. It's only been like a year or something like that. Fantastic. I know I'm really good at time management, but you'll notice that this microphone is new. This is my dream microphone for voice acting and ASMR. It is the Neumann TLM 103, and it is an extremely nice mic. It's renowned, as far as I understand it, in the voiceover industry for being just really great quality and being really kind to voices and bringing a lot of warmth to them, I think. I watched like review videos on this mic several times, but I actually ordered it and had it arrive, I think like 3 or 4 months ago, and I hadn't, oh my god, the gestures. Sorry. I don't know if you can see that, but I gave a little thumbs up, and my computer is giving me a thumbs up too. I gotta remember to hold the ASMR voice, the relaxing voice. Otherwise, what's the point of being here, right? But anyway, I'm back, and I've had this mic for like 3 months, and I finally opened it up. And the first thing I realized is, oh my god, my S's and ch sound so harsh on them that I was thinking, oh my god, I have to return this mic, and this is supposed to be like one of the best mics out there. But I think I came to the realization that my S's are just a bit sharp, and I had to like look into why that is. And apparently it's because my tongue was just like a bit too close to my teeth when I pronounce S, that it creates a whistle. I can actually whistle through my teeth. That's something I learned how to do way back when I was younger. From my grandfather, probably. He's the one who taught me to whistle in general. And I can't say for sure that that's what caused me to go down this route, but I now have realized that my S's are very sharp when I speak, and I have been cursed because now I am so conscious of them. And oh, how to fix it. So if you are whistling at all with your S's, you need to just adjust where your tongue is when you pronounce the letter S. And for me, pulling it back consciously a little bit has somewhat lessened the effect. Now, it's a bit harder if I speak very aggressively. I think one, muscle memory plays an effect, but two, you're literally pushing more air through, which I think makes it more likely that you'll run into that. But it's something I realized, and I'm like, well, I guess it's better I realize now than getting farther along in the ASMR / voice acting journey that I'm in, and then going, oh my god, my voice is f***ing annoying now. Not my voice. A certain aspect of my pronunciation. I don't know if this is like overly egotistical or something, but I actually like the sound of my own voice. In fact, I think in part I make ASMR for myself because I get to listen to myself like through the headphones, and it's just like, that's some good bass. And like, I think I just like the warm sound of bass. And so with like a mic like this, where I can hear myself in very fine detail, I'm like, yeah, that's that good stuff. But I notice all of the imperfections. They're so loud to me. And it's something that I'm going to have to get used to with this job. And like I said, it's better I realized now and can make subtle adjustments to how I say certain things and pronounce things. And it's emotionally taking a toll. But I'm back here making stuff. It is currently 4:21 a.m. Almost blazed, I guess. And I'm finally filming. It's only been like a year. But I have my baby, Mike, my Neumann, who I've always wanted. Little cutie. And oh my god, I keep banging things. let me tell you a bit about my day today. Today was the first time ever that I got up on stage in front of people and did improv. And it was very nerve-wracking. Before I got there, I was just all nervous in my car, and I walked in, and it's so silly, but I was like chewing gum, and I didn't have anything to like spit it into, and the trash can was like right in front of the attendant who takes down your name to sign up for this thing. And I like didn't want to spit it out in front of them. I thought that'd be like gross or something. So I just like sat there chewing gum for like 5 minutes longer than I needed to. I was like, fuck it. And I went up. Pleasure to meet you. I'm here to sign up for this thing. Sorry about that. But I'm sitting there getting all nervous. But the rest of my class members come in because it's our first time doing this together. We actually didn't get assigned to the same groups. It was like a bunch of different groups, randomized. And I ended up trying to calm some of them because I was like, hey, just imagine that everyone in here is just like a big class. Because you've done improv in front of people before, our class. So just imagine them a part of us, and then it's not so stressful. And that's actually like what I was thinking to calm myself down was, okay, it's just a class. You're allowed to make mistakes. Everyone here's trying to have a good time, have fun. It'll be okay. And it ended up going pretty well. I didn't at first want to jump in because it's like a bunch of us on the sides of the stage. And then no one will be in the front, or someone will come up to the front to start the scene. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to sit back for the first few scenes and like observe and get like a sense of the vibe. And we had gotten to know each other like right before. Like they assign us, we go, we warm up, but it's different on stage. You don't know what people are going to say or do. And I'm waiting there, and at one point someone goes up. They do a scene, and they leave, and no one goes back up. And they're like, oh, fine. They go back on, and I'm like, oh my God, I need to jump in. Well, there's a scene that comes on. And they're like, you're in a beautiful forest. And like, they're describing it like just beautiful trees and animals. And so my first introduction in this scene is to just walk up and pretend I'm a deer. Say nothing, just go up and look at them, and then go off stage. So my first bit of improv ever, pretending to be a deer. My second bit of improv is they are now describing the scene. It's like, oh, it's Adam and Eve. It's the forest of a forbidden apple. And they're saying like, oh, eat me, I'm a delicious apple. And I come in, and like all the intrusive thoughts were like female presenting people at first. So I was like, relay. And I go, you want a taste of that delicious apple, the nectar, it calls out to you. Eat me, consume me. Something like that. And they make a big point of saying, oh my gosh, that voice sounded so different than the rest of them. And I was like, oh God. Like, I wasn't inherently going for spicy. I was trying to be enticing, but like, because like my job, like it's kind of a default place that I go, but I'm sorry, I think they like leaned into it, and at one point, the apple who's trying to get eaten is saying like, if you eat me, you'll definitely come. And it made the whole like crowd crack up, and I'm like, I think I set the tone for the apple being like delicious nectar. So funny. And then Adam comes in and is like, why are you going for the apple? Am I not enough? And then they're like arguing, and the apple's like, I can make her come. And Adam's like, I can make you come at least sometimes. And it's just so silly. But that's improv. And then the crowd is like loving it. And I think also improvisers are a great audience because like they want to laugh. And so everyone's just having a great time. And like the third scene I was in, there's like a fireman scene and like the alarm's going off, but the firemen aren't moving. They're kind of like procrastinating, like, I don't really feel like going today. You know, like, is it really our time to have to like go and save someone? And so my addition to this scene was to go on stage and then pretend I was on fire and die. And so I am like giving a heartfelt, emotional scene. I'm like, my skin, it's melting. And like they're just like talking about nonsense. And then they start like talking to me, and like the kind of position I was in is like I was on the floor, but I was trying to like imply that I was like leaning outside of an apartment building to them. And they're like, you doing good? And I'm like, no, I'm on fire. Like I'm just giving the performance of my lifetime, shrieking and wailing and crying. And they're like, you seem like you're doing good. And they're like, do you see this mug? And I'm like, what mug? They said it says world's worst firefighter. And I was like, you earned it. And then it cuts, and that's like the end of our like set or whatever. And I don't know. It was pretty fun, but like the best part was like after the show, people were like coming up to me and were like, oh my God, you were so good. I loved you as a doe. And I was like, someone noticed that I was a deer. Like I thought that was such a terrible choice. But I was just like patting it. And they were like, no, I love it when people don't like say anything and just add to the scene. I was literally scenery. And they mentioned a few other things, like I don't know I think someone mentioned the nectar thing, like they liked that addition, like, oh yeah, that voice was different than the other ones. And someone's like, oh, I really like the tonal shift because the fireman scene was really like light and funny. And then I'm just like, I'm dying. Like I can't do it with ASMR. Even though I get too excited, I know. I'm supposed to be doing relaxing stuff. But I'll have you know, when I used to Twitch stream a lot, some people would say they would listen to me to go to bed, which was ridiculous because I used to scream all of the time when I was streaming. But yeah, I had a really good experience on stage, and now that I've done it once, I feel like I can do it again. And I'm hoping it's like flexing my creative muscles. I have this really big hope that the more I do creative stuff, acting, voice acting, ASMR, content creation, the more I'll develop. And then I'll do even cooler things to a greater degree. Like, I would say my filmmaking ability, recording ability is all not entry level, but it's not advanced. And I know comparison is a thief of joy, but I really want to get to a place where I feel very skilled and many things. And this is like a theme I've talked about a lot. But like improvement and getting better at this sort of thing has always been at the forefront of my mind and my dreams. And if I can start regularly posting videos here, hopefully you'll see development of me as an ASMRist. I feel like I don't watch enough ASMR to like make it properly. I know that my voice is something that I can leverage, but I like it when people make little noises, and it's just not something I've done much of, and I want to like watch more as a way to like educate myself. I know like some people like certain forms of ASMR and some people don't. But I hope to like try a lot of it, but most likely I'll a lot of times be just sort of speaking. No, I don't want to say that, but speaking will probably be a heavy part of most of my ASMR, as it's something I'm pretty confident in, whereas, not that. That was loud. See, that was a little bit better. Now, you'll notice I don't have two mics right now, and that's because this mic is ridiculously expensive. And I was thinking, nonetheless, getting two. But it's so funny that no matter where I am in my content journey, I'm always reaching too far for like technology. When I first started streaming, I was told, all right, don't get a camera until you've done it for a little bit, so you know you'll enjoy it. Makes sense. But I have no willpower, so I did it like once without a camera, and then I immediately went to buy a camera, webcam. Now this was peak, sharp ass, this was peak pandemic. And so pretty much every camera on the market was bought up. And I got like, I think it was like AMC, it was something not popular, because like everyone wanted a Logitech C920. That was like the starter mic, or camera rather. And I couldn't get one. They were normally like, I think like $80. And at the time during the pandemic, they were like $200. It was ridiculous. But I got a cheap webcam for like $30. And I slapped it on. And I went to myself, I hope one day I can get myself a Sony a5100 camera. I was like, oh, that's my dream. One day. And the Sigma 16mm prime lens that every YouTuber had at the time. And then like 3 months later, I bought it on credit. And I was like, I'll get it. This is an investment. So I was like a brand new streamer with like top of the line visuals. And it was such a funny little thing, you know? Not that you need to be a certain distance in your journey as a streamer to have nice tech. But there's a certain like energy of like a new streamer, new visuals, like rough graphics, and then just perfect picture quality. Like people I think noticed and were like, why do you have such a good camera? But you've been doing this for like 3 months and you don't know what you're doing. And I'm like, because I have impulse control issues. And once I set myself out for wanting something, especially if it's nice, I convince myself I need it, or I have to buy it once, just once, and then I have it forever. Now, most of the time when that would happen, like when I bought a dirt bike when I was a kid, I would ride it for 3 or 4 times and then never ride it again. Fun fact, my mom also bought one because she wanted to relate to me and be cool, which, by the way, now that I think about it, very cool mom thing to do, buying a dirt bike with your son. That's kind of wild. Like, I gotta remember that. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I got lucky, and this is something that stuck for me, and I continued down the line until we got here. But my thought is, like, maybe I'm in a position to where I have earned this mic. I've been in content creation for 4 years, and voice acting is the thing I want to do. I do now. It is my job, so it makes sense to have it. But I'll admit to myself, buying 2 of these is ridiculous. That is a ridiculous thing to do. But I'm like, no. It's an investment. All right, I'm going to do ASMR, right? As I've made like 8 videos in the last 2 years. So it makes sense. And maybe it would make sense. But if I don't do ASMR, then that is the most ridiculous purchase that one could make. Like, this is an end game mic for 99.9% of people. And I'm like, no. I'll get 2 for my burgeoning ASMR channel that I don't post to, but I'm posting to it now. And I hope to make more and more stuff. I feel like it would be very creatively gratifying to have multiple forms of content, especially one like this, where I'm more present and thoughtful with what I'm doing and saying. So I know this was a chaotic return to my ASMR channel, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I am excited to see where it all goes. Please stick around and feel free to check me out everywhere, Shallelujah.com, for everything. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.